Retro Station, a shadowy flight into the world of a man who does not exist. Well, he may as well not exist. Dude has like 251 followers. Commander Dan, a loner, a rebel, entrapped aboard a satellite above the Earth by powers unknown to review, inspect, and expose retro games based on licensed properties. He has taken up this mission to prove that one man, alone, with video games as his only companion, can make a difference. He's probably correct as much as he can be on that one. Let's find out on Retro Station 1989. Hey everybody, welcome to Retro Station 1989, and this is License to Play. It's my series of reviews on retro video games that are based on licensed properties like movies, TV, comic books, characters, superheroes, and sometimes fast food mascots. This week, we're hitting the 80s again, and as an 80s kid myself, meaning I grew up in the 80s, you can see by my shirt here, DuckTales, it wasn't always about cartoons, like G.I. Joe and the real Ghostbusters and Transformers. Those were great, absolutely wonderful. We had other stuff that was just as awesome. We had A-Team. We had Manimal. We had the Misfits of Science. We had Knight Rider. Back to the 80s. Gotta say, being a kid in the 80s was a crazy time. There were zero limits on what toy companies, candy companies, and other entities could do to expose your meaty little young brains to whatever the hell they wanted. While we got bombarded by cartoons, mascots, and cartoon mascots during the afternoons and weekends, in the evenings, well, then we were bombarded by action-adventure shows. Like the A-Team, a group of soldiers of fortune trying to clear their names and help out the little guy with Mr. T. And their video game was fucking hog shit. Look at this jibber jabber. Be somebody and never play this shit smeared sack of garbage. Then there was Airwolf, Stringfellow Hawk, and Ernest Borgnine getting helicopter related adventures and kick ass. And Airwolf's game was alright, but I mean, come on, look at this thing. Then we come to one of my all-time favorite shows, Knight Rider. Damn, Knight Rider was fucking cool. It was one of the best things out there for kids. I mean, if you were awake and it was a Friday night and Knight Rider's theme came on, just that dun-dun, 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 you were ready. You were ready for action. You were ready for adventure. And apparently gorillas and shit. I mean, Knight Rider had everything. It had evil twins, Garth. What the fuck, Garth? Garth, Knight is Michael's half-brother, but he's an evil twin, and you can tell because he's got a mustache. Evil, right? And he drives Goliath, a fucking semi, so it's like speedy car versus semi. It's fucking amazing. Where else do you get that shit? Anywhere? No. Turbo Teen, maybe, on Saturday mornings. But otherwise, no. You got a talking car, you got yourself the best time of your life. I mean, if you want a really good example of the craziness that's in Knight Rider, check out Allison Pregler's Movie Nights. She does this series of episodes called Manic Episodes, and it's got the Halloween Psycho Knight Rider episode, and by Psycho I mean it has the Psycho house, it has the fucking stunt man who was the stunt man for fucking Norman Bates, and a gorilla. I mean, what? Listen, the second you're done with this video, check that video out. God damn, in the 80s, it was a crazy time because there were no limits on the bullshit they would show you on TV. They would put anything together. A guy who can fucking turn into a tiger. Never would. He'd probably turn into a dog or a bat or something that will definitely fit the show's budget. Automan. Yeah, he did. He created a Lamborghini sometimes. Sometimes created a helicopter. But that's very expensive. So most of the time, he's creating a suit and dancing around and singing. It's just, that's how the 80s were. I mean, well, here, watch this part. Knight Rider. a Universal Television series created by famous/infamous television auteur Glenn A. Larson in 1982. The story of the show revolves around Michael Long, a police lieutenant, investigating some kind of corporate fraud in the 80s. The guy's a real tall, gawky dude with the voice of David Hasselhoff. Under his expert investigation, he ends up following a criminal and getting shot in the face.
In the face! In the face!
Yeah, so he's then found by Knight Industries and its reclusive inventor-founder, Wilton Knight, and they give his dumbass a new face. And they created KIT, the Knight Industries 2000, for when direct action might provide the only feasible solution. That's what Devin said. I agree with it, even though the vehicle itself has no fucking weapons. It was a Pontiac Trans Am, and in the 80s, it was that or a Lamborghini, if you wanted a badass car. And at this point, well, we need to address the faux ivory elephant in the room. And this needs to be said about the creator of Knight Rider, Glenn A. Larson. This man was the king of, you don't need Star Wars, I can make you Star Wars at home, style television. Check this out. Battlestar Galactica. You like Star Wars? I got Star Wars. What about Automan? You like Tron? I got Tron. And what about Any Which Way But Loose? You like Any Which Way But Loose? I got that too. And a goddamn monkey. But Knight Rider? Damn, that was one of the times Glenn A. Larson threw enough at the wall and it splatted out something kick-ass. Check out the intro just for a second. Did you see that shit? Then we get the show where Michael and KIT go up against corporate stooges and corporate bosses and stop their escapes. They fight evil semi-trucks and evil twins. Then there's this bastard, Carr. K-A-R-R, voiced by Frank Welker, Megatron, and horrifyingly dangerous. He's Evil KIT, for fuck's sake. And of course, because this is 80s adventure television, a gorilla. So Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the world of a man who does not exist, who tries to prove again and again that one man can make a difference. And it was fucking awesome. So here it is. The coolest thing in the 80s you could possibly have was a Trans Am. I mean, fucking Michael Knight, Trans Am. Burt Reynolds, Trans Am. Fucking Bullitt drove a Trans Am in another movie called The Hunter or some shit like that. Anyway, fucking Trans Ams were the shit. Oh, or a DeLorean after 1985. After 1985, Trans Am, Lamborghini, DeLorean. God damn, I want a DeLorean. But here it is. I never got that Trans Am. I'm an old man now, sitting aboard a goddamn satellite for the rest of my days, I guess. But I never got a Trans Am. Never, not once. But I did try to have the Retro Stations fabricators create a Trans Am for me. I gave them all the speculations that I wanted. Said, create me KIT. I want KIT. Give it to me. The best they could do. I mean, it's pretty accurate. See? Michael, why am I so tiny now? I mean, even down to the capped off hubcaps. I mean, the license plate says Knight Rider, not Knight on it, but it is a KIT. It is a Knight Industries model 2000. Check it out. Steering wheel. Matches the show pretty well. But it's like I said, you know. You don't need Knight Rider. Alright, I'll make you Knight Rider, okay? You want Knight Rider? I'll make it for you on the NES. Check it out. Knight Rider was created for the NES in 1989 by Pac-In Video and was developed as a racing game for the NES. Now, Pac-In Video designed the game, but it was produced by Acclaim, which used to be LJN. That's why there's a little rainbow in the Acclaim logo, in case you didn't realize that. But yeah, so Acclaim created this game, and it was developed as a racing game. And the story is very simple. Terrorists have taken control of a military base, and only a cool dude in his cool-ass Trans Am with a sassy attitude can stop them. Or another branch of the military, or the National Guard, or fuck, really, anyone with a weapon and knowledge of how to use it can probably stop these assholes in cars and helicopter. But here we are. Anyway, the game is getting from point A to point Z. And that's not just a hyperbolic description. We're talking from San Francisco to L.A., normally a 5-hour drive up the California coast. Instead goes from San Francisco all around the United States into Toronto and then back again to defeat terrorists driving all over our highways and causing a ruckus. Well, fuck that. Knight Rider's there to shoot them down with guns, which the show was basically about a nonviolent response to like corporate greed and shit. It wasn't really about war. But the game has everything else from the show. It's got Bonnie, Trevor, Michael, and Kit. And, well, that's about it. You can drive, turbo jump, and shoot a newly installed set of machine guns at your enemies, which are represented by, well, car, as you see here, and helicopter. And that's it. There are also blue cars that you can't shoot. They're civilians, and if you shoot them, you lose gas and time. Which, yes, you also have gas in this game. You know, anyway, trust me when I say it's a simple game to play, but man, it's such a cool game. Though it is a very long game. The game takes about 5 hours to beat, which is a ton of fucking time. With such simplistic gameplay, the one thing that still makes me chuckle is that the helicopter enemy fires what look like soccer balls at you. Well, you have to turbo jump in the air to shoot back with guns that they never had in the show. And it's not like the show really at all. You never get out as Michael Knight, and the car is, you know, what it is. But it's Kit. I mean, check out the dashboard. It's got everything that the show had. And, you know, I got to say that you're probably going to be disappointed in my ruling on this one. But I got to tell you, when you turbo jump and shoot, it's awesome to me. I don't know what to tell you. But it does leave that one vital question, doesn't it? So, Knight Rider on the NES. Does it have a license to play? Yeah, barely. Just barely. I mean, the thing takes 5 hours to beat. I mean, the gameplay isn't so hard, and if you can find it, the price isn't so bad. I'm thinking it's like $15-20. Again, I'm not trying to focus on games that are cheap, but, you know, hey, it's not so bad. I would say that if you're going to play it, be ready for some of the problems you get with that third-person kind of racing, since you're first-person racing rather, because you're in the car, you know? You're not like it's not like Rad Racer, it's like you're behind the wheel, which is good, I guess, but again, the fuck is the point of a racing game with a car that can fucking drive itself? And that's not even a fucking option in the game. So, yes, it does keep its license to play, but just barely. That being said, we'll be back again next Monday night, afternoon maybe, with another license to play. I have been your humble host, Commander Dan, and remember, if you want to see more of this, please subscribe, let your friends know about it with the share button. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. I'd appreciate that, and if you didn't, go fuck yourself. No, I'm kidding. You can put a thumbs down, but please leave a comment. Tell me what I could do to change, or what other games you might like to see. If I have it, I'll try it out. If I don't, I'll try it out even faster. But I will want to get a physical copy of it, so that may take some time. Thanks again, everybody, for swinging by. I love all of my new Space Pirates, and again, if you want your badge, you just gotta ask. Drop a comment down below. I'll send you the link, and you can have your very own badge as being part of a Space Pirate. Big shout-outs to Stuttering Stick and my boy Michael. We'll be streaming this week a new game, so that'll be fun. Starting an actual stream, not just the Hitman stuff that I've been playing, because I will be playing that later, but more on and off than actually a stream. And I don't know if I'm going to finish the Cyberpunk game until they fixed it, so we're jumping on to a new game tomorrow. So please, swing by. Come hang out. And if you want to check out my Patreon is Dan Hauser over at Patreon, but it's just for art. So if you're interested in the artwork that I do for role-playing games and such, give it a shot. And more than anything else, well, that I've said here tonight or in any other capacity, remember to stay retro. Peace!
Get upset on the internet. You're assault adult. Get upset.